三。
So now I invite ICMOS to present the nomination of Santiniketan, India. ICMOS, you may have the floor. Korea, the mic. South Korea, the mic.
Thank you.
South Korea.
Thank you.
China, sorry. China.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Very, very happy with it.
Yeah.
China.
Thank you.
China.
Oh, thank you.
China, can you please? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Good friends.
ICMOS, you may have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. This is the presentation of the ICMOS evaluation of Santiniketan in India. The ICMOS report can be found in the document INF 8B1 on page 55 of the English version and page 70 of the French version. Next slide, please. Santiniketan was established in rural West Bengal in 1901 by Rabindranath Tagore, an internationally recognized Nobel laureate, poet, writer and thinker, known for his humanist ideals. Santiniketan was established as a residential school and centre for art based on ancient Indian traditions and on a vision of the unity of humanity, transcending religious and cultural boundaries. It embodies ideals of internationalism and an emerging Pan-Asian modernity. The built elements display eclectic influences from various Asian and international sources and a revived attention to the local. In 1921, Santiniketan became a world university, Visva Bharati, which continues today, applying educational approaches based on an interpretation of Vedic traditions. These include the importance of the pavilions and gardens, artworks, use of traditional materials, open-air classrooms and participation in cultural festivals. Set within the historical context of early 20th century India, Santiniketan reflected a push away from colonial templates and influenced leaders of the Indian freedom movement. The comparative analysis demonstrates the significance of Santiniketan as an early 20th century place of learning and in terms of its expression of local and internationalist philosophies. It also establishes that Santiniketan influenced other educational and cultural institutions in the South Asian region. While the property was nominated on the basis of criteria 2 and 6, ICMOS considers that the nominated property meets criteria 4 and 6, based on the productive engagements with the State Party and the receipt of additional information. Next slide, please. This slide shows the nominated portion of the campus outlined in red. It includes the 3 areas that were established during Tagore's life. The extent of the present-day university campus defines the buffer zone, which is outlined in blue, and the wider setting has also been defined by the State Party. The continuing educational and cultural uses of the nominated area within the Visva Bharati campus are attributes alongside the buildings and building interiors and the eclectic character of the architecture, landscape and artworks that illustrate experimentation based on Tagore's philosophies. The requirements for authenticity and integrity have been met. Some aspects of the property's authenticity are potentially vulnerable due to any future changes in materials or uses or social and educational changes. Next slide, please. The nominated property is protected by a national law that established Visva Bharati as an institution of national importance based on the ideals of Tagore. The management system is dependent on the effective operation of the Visva Bharati Heritage Committee, supported by relevant national and local authorities. Some recommendations have been made to further strengthen the legal protection and management system. The condition of the nominated property has been supported by conservation and restoration projects achieved through partnerships with Indian specialist agencies. Further recommendations about improving the documentation and monitoring have also been provided. Next slide, please. Here is a summary of the ICOMOS evaluation of the proposed outstanding universal value of the nominated property. Next slide, please. To conclude, ICOMOS recommends that Santiniketan, India, be inscribed in the World Heritage List on the basis of criteria 4 and 6, and has included a number of further recommendations as already outlined to aid the long-term conservation of the property. Next slide, please. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I'd like to see if there are any comments regarding this nomination. I see none, and I therefore invite you, dear colleagues, to adopt the draft decision 45Com 8B.10. But before doing so, I'd like to ask the rapporteur if she has received any amendment on the draft decision proposed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have received no amendment for the draft decision 45Com 8B.10.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments? I see none, and I therefore declare draft decision 45Com 8B.10 adopted. Congratulations, India, on behalf of the entire committee. India, you may have the floor.
Mr. Chair, Namaste and Salam. India rejoices and celebrates the inclusion of Shantiniketan on the World Heritage List. On behalf of my country, I offer my thanks to the World Heritage Committee, the Secretariat and ICOMOS, who supported this property and recognized the outstanding universal value of Shantiniketan under Agenda 45Com 8B.10. I thank the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, and India's expert body, the Archaeological Survey of India, for their tireless efforts. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, is the Chancellor of Shantiniketan, and it is his birthday today. Hence, the inscription of Shantiniketan on the World Heritage List is a welcome gift. Shantiniketan, situated in rural Bengal, is associated with the work and philosophies of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, world-famous poet, artist, musician, philosopher, and recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature 1913. Established initially as an ashram in 1863 by his father, Rabindranath Tagore began in 1901 its transformation into a residential school and a center for art based on the ancient Indian teaching system of Gurukul. His vision was oriented at the unity of humanity, or Vishwa Bharati. Shantiniketan embraced a unique brand of internationalism that drew upon ancient, medieval, and folk traditions of India, as well as Japanese, Chinese, Persian, Balinese, Burmese, and Art Deco forms. Many of these themes are seen in his Gitanjali, his collection of poems, which he wrote while living in Shantiniketan. I conclude, Mr. Chair, by quoting the motto of Shantiniketan, taken from an ancient Sanskrit verse, Yatra Vishwam Bhavatyeka Nidam, where the whole world can meet in a nest. We invite everyone to visit this nest and explore the universalism of Shantiniketan. I will now say a line in the Bengali language, congratulating the people of India. Samasta Bharatiya De Abhinandan. Thank you, and Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again. So now, I invite ICOMOS